Hi everybody, welcome to day 4 of Tag Week. Today we're going to be doing the Harry Potter tag. So show your house pride, grab your wand, and let's get started. I definitely think that my favorite book in the entire series would have to be The Deathly Hallows. It was such a perfect ending to an amazing series, and there's not a single thing that I would change about it. I think that my favorite movie would probably be Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't know, it's just the one that I remember enjoying the most as a kid, and it's still one of my very favorites to this day. I think it's a fantastic adaptation, but all of the movies are great adaptations of the book. But there's something about The Prisoner of Azkaban that really stood out to me on film, and that's why I'm choosing it as my favorite movie. Probably The Order of the Phoenix. It's not a bad book. None of the books are bad books, but I find Umbridge so absolutely detestable that she almost ruins the experience for me a little bit. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but she's been my least favorite character, and she's really well written because you can't make a really unlikable character. Everyone hates Umbridge, and that's because J.K. Rowling did such a good job with writing her. But she's just so detestable to me that it almost ruins the entire experience of the book, and that's why it's my least favorite. All the books are really good though. I think that, for me, the saddest part of the series was when Fred died. That's the moment that I cried the hardest, especially when I saw it in the theater. I cried during other parts too, of course, Dobby and Hedwig. There are so many tear-jerking moments, but for me, the saddest part was when Fred died. And I'm still not over it to this day. I'm still upset about it because I love the twins. I do. I love them so much. They're probably two of my very favorite characters. And it was really hard losing Fred, and that was definitely the time that I cried the hardest during any of the books. I would have to say Draco, which is also probably a really predictable answer. I don't know, I always found him the most attractive out of any of the characters, especially when put on film. I always had a thing for that kind of bad boy persona, and he turns out being a good guy later on in the series, so it's not totally unjustifiable, but I always found him the most physically attractive. Apart from maybe Ginny in the later movies, I also found late book Ginny really attractive, but aside from that, definitely Draco, for sure. There's so many great characters in this series, and it's really hard to pick just one. I think my top 5 would be Fred and George Weasley, Hermione Granger, Sirius Black, and Luna Lovegood. Those are definitely my top 5 favorite characters, but other than Dolores Umbridge and Voldemort, obviously, I don't think there's a character that I can say that I really hate in this entire series. My Patronus is a wolf. Basically, when your Patronus is a wolf, it means that you are extremely loyal and sociable, and you value your family above everything else, and you put a lot of importance on learning and new experiences and interacting with other people, because it's important for you to always have new experiences and to interact with others in order to remain healthy. And I feel like that's really accurate for me, and I'm sure that's accurate for a lot of people in my houses. I think if I had to choose between the Resurrection Stone, the Invisibility Cloak, and the Elder Wand, I would have to go with the Invisibility Cloak. It's the one that I always wanted when I was a kid. It was the one that I was always the most interested in, and I don't know, there was just something about it that I really connected with. I never really got down to why I connected with that one so much, but if given the choice, that is definitely the one that I would choose. Hufflepuff Pride for the win. I actually didn't know I was a Hufflepuff until I hit high school and I took the Pottermore quiz, and I was surprised at first. But the more I think about it, the more I realize how true it was. Like, I've always been the nice one, I've always been the kind one, and I value loyalty, and I value my friends, and there's just a lot of Hufflepuff traits that I relate very strongly to. If I could meet any of the cast, I would definitely want to meet Emma Watson. I find her so inspirational. She's such a good role model for kids now, and she was a great role model for kids when I was a kid. She's not only incredibly talented, she's also incredibly smart. She went to Brown University. She does work with the UN. She's just an amazing person. The whole cast is absolutely fantastic, but I always felt a special connection to Emma Watson, so if I ever had the opportunity to meet her, it would make my entire life. Nope, not a single one. I've never played any of the video games. Not unless the Harry Potter CNET game counts, which I don't think it does. So no, I've never ever played one of the video games. Maybe someday, but that day will probably not be soon. I've never been a big video game. If I were to play Quidditch, my position would be a Seeker, which is fantastic because that means I'm in the same company as Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy. So it doesn't get much better than that. I will definitely take that position if I were a Quidditch. I was absolutely so happy with the ending. I thought it was a great way to end Harry's story, and it started off his kid's story, who will be going on new and hopefully less dangerous adventures than their father, but I really think that it was a great ending for an amazing series. Gosh, I love Harry Potter. It was such a big part of my childhood. They were the first bedtime stories that my parents ever read to me. They were the first characters that I ever felt a real connection with. They were the first books that I started reading on my own. It was a huge, huge part of my childhood, and I would not trade a second of it for anything. It was an amazing, amazing experience, and I feel so lucky to exist at the same time as the Harry Potter series because it taught me so much about myself and about other people, and it really taught me that there's a gray area between good and evil. Nobody is exclusively one thing or the other, which is a really valuable lesson for kids, especially in the world that we're growing up in today. It's an amazing, amazing story, and I would highly recommend it to every child and every adult out there. There we have it. That was the Harry Potter tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Harry Potter was such a huge part of my life, and I'm sure for a lot of you it was a huge part of your life too. If you wanna, please feel free to do this tag. It's so much fun, and it really brought up some great memories for me answering all these questions. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.